Hello everyone, let's have more news about the Miami Heat. But first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. If the fan base is hoping that the Miami Heat can avoid what appears to be a gap year for the franchise, there are a couple of ways that can happen. If the Heat are going to unexpectedly emerge as a contender this season, they're either going to need to find another undrafted gem or shockingly land another star player to raise their ceiling. Thankfully, the Heat have been known to have a knack for pulling off such moves. Whether they'll be able to do that again this season remains to be seen, but if there's any team in the NBA that has had a history of emerging as a surprise contender, it's been the Heat. That may be a more difficult task to pull off without Jimmy Butler in uniform, but there are still paths toward the Heat having a successful season this year. At least for now, the argument can be made that the Heat is heading into the 2025-26 NBA season with the intention of relying on their internal development. Strategically, with an eye toward the future, Miami is hoping the likes of Pele Larsson, Kelly Ware, Nikola Jovic, and Jaime Jaquez Jr. make improvements in their personal games in order to push this team forward. If Kasparas Jakutionis is ready to contribute too, that would give this team another boost. With Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo at their peak, the onus on raising the ceiling for this franchise is going to fall on the shoulders of the supporting cast. Maybe Norman Powell gives this team an even greater jolt than many believe as well. But seemingly, if the Heat are going to be a contender this season, you'd imagine an unknown is going to have to arise for the franchise. Now let's go to another video. Don't forget to leave a like. I'll roll this season for the team, or perhaps it's the team swinging a trade for a player that no one saw coming. Miami does like to operate in the shadows, so that wouldn't be all that surprising if they managed to pull something like that off. The Heat, as currently constructed, aren't expected by many to factor much into the Eastern Conference. However, with so many intriguing young players on this roster and the contracts and some draft capital to make a big move, nothing can be completely off the table for the Heat over the next few months. And if there's one team that seems to outplay their expectations, it's consistently been the Heat. The question is, will the right circumstances arise for the Heat to pull off the feat once again? Now let's go to another video. Don't forget to leave a like. Miami Heat center Kelly Ware responded how anyone would after being called out. A day after coach Eric Spoelstra questioned his professionalism, Ware had a huge game in Sunday's loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA Summer League in Las Vegas. The 92-72 loss was a mere footnote, but Ware's 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocks were the headliner. He had 17 points in the first half. That's what we've been waiting for from him, Heat Summer League coach Eric Glass said. Then it just translated to everything else. When he comes in with that focus, that intensity, the rest of his game blossoms. He has that potential. Ware, who is entering his second year, said he just wanted to showcase his ability after getting questioned by coaches and fans. He had been off to a slow start this summer. It all comes down to, like Spo said, you just put in the effort, going out there and playing, Ware said. That's just what I wanted, to show what I can do. Ware said Spoelstra's words did light a fire under him. I just took it as motivating, Ware said. Obviously, he's the coach. He has that trust in me. He wants to see me be the best that I can be. It might be in Damian Lillard's best interest to choose the Miami Heat over the Boston Celtics. With Lillard and the Celtics reportedly having mutual interest, Celtics fans are salivating over a potential union. But Yahoo Sports' Kevin O'Connor reminded everyone on Saturday why Boston might not be the best situation for Lillard. I think for Dame, there has to be some appeal in Boston because you don't have to be the guy when you get back from injury, O'Connor said while appearing as a guest on CLNS Media's Garden Report program. You have Jason Tatum, you have Jaylen Brown, you have Peyton Pritchard. You can rest, you can load manage while recovering from the Achilles injury. There's probably not a better situation from that standpoint. That's when O'Connor also pointed to potential downsides to Lillard joining the Celtics. But if you're Damian Lillard, do you want to go to a team where you might be the backup point guard? O'Connor said. It's Derek White and these guys. Why not? Go to a team where you're going to be the starter and you're going to get opportunities to go back and be Damian Lillard again. And so I think for him, a team like the Miami Heat offers that to him more so than Boston does. O'Connor's point suggests that a juicy arms race might emerge between two Eastern Conference rivals for Lillard's services. Then again, if Boston's loaded depth chart at guard is the main deterrent for Lillard, there's nothing the Celtics could do to fix that, short of moving on from White or Pritchard, which would be unwise. Lillard's big decision could ultimately come down to whether he wants more touches or a greater chance of contending. Miami's no slouch, but it's tough to see them being in a better position to contend in 2026-2027 than the Celtics core. The Miami Heat shocked the NBA sphere on Monday as the franchise decided to pull off a monster 3-team trade with the Los Angeles Clippers and Utah Jazz. After welcoming ex-Clippers guard and 21.8-point scorer Norman Powell aboard with their latest transaction, the Heat's front office could remain aggressive as the 2025 offseason continues to roll along. Powell's acquisition by the Heat will provide their all-star guard Tyler Herro with another capable on-ball threat and talented shot creator. But the franchise could shift its focus towards finding elite defensive talent on the perimeter. With the team now in the midst of garnering status as a dark horse title contender, Clutch Point's Jed Pagaduan recently suggested that the Heat must target 2022 Defensive Player of the Year winner and ex-Boston Celtics guard Marcus Smart via trade. Smart has endured a difficult past 2 seasons, playing in just 54 games combined during that span, Pagaduan wrote Tuesday. But when healthy, he's shown flashes of being the lockdown 3-and-D guard he's been throughout his career. Smart has suffered through a few devastating injuries in recent seasons, but his defensive intangibles continue to shine through. But perhaps he finds himself rejuvenated with the Heat's training regimen, and if Miami manages to nurse him back to full health, he'd be a valuable backcourt piece, giving the Heat a lockdown defensive backcourt duo with him and Davion Mitchell. After a tumultuous 2024-25 campaign spent while splitting time between the Memphis Grizzlies and Washington Wizards, Smart will likely aim to help a contender next season. Though the 31-year-old guard contributed just 9.0 points and 3.2 assists, while sporting an atrocious 48.8% effective field goal percentage in only 34 appearances, the 3-time All-Defensive Team selection's intensity on that end of the floor remains consistent. Yes, Smart's career has taken a sharp turn since his tenure with the Celtics came to a close in 2023, but his postseason experience, including a trip to the 2022 NBA Finals and career 108 defensive rating per 100 possessions, could serve as just qualification for the gritty guard to earn a spot in the Heat's 2025-26 rotation.